Asking me about like my creative process really often. So I'm about to go grab a coffee because I feel like a chai, but I also need to take some Bookstagram photos. So I'll show you guys roughly what I do, but like I literally, whenever I'm strong or something, I just cart like 65 million books with me and then I go shoot them. I also brought, okay, well, I don't usually do this, but I brought my whole vase of tulips because I usually take the flowers individually, but in this case, I don't want to damage my tulips, so I'm carrying them in the vase that they were in my room in because I want to take a couple of floral photos. And this coffee shop that I like has a really nice table. Has like this really nice wood table, also has this like really kitschy feel. So I was just thinking there were like 3 or 4 books that I think would look cute in this location. So I'm gonna go shoot them now. So that's just like a random thing that I do that I just thought like, let me just like keep you guys up on game. So like it's just not spontaneous. My content is just not like, doesn't just happen. Super cute, right? So I'll come and I'll like plot it like this, right? Use this wood board, use this like table, show you what it looks like inside. See what I mean? So like the whole area is super aesthetic. So I'll use the whole part of the restaurant to take multiple photos. By the way, I love this photo. So that's basically how I do it. This place is so cute, by the way. But also, then I'm at my table, same props, different shot. Put my shades there, take a photo. You see what I mean? So you'll probably notice on my Instagram, I'm really conscious about curating my feed. So what I try to do is make sure that like, I'll have a, like for example, I don't know, laziness doesn't exist. I'll take like 5 or 6 different photos of the same book in different shots, and then when I'm actually going to post it, when I'm actually reading it, I'll see which of those 6 photos makes the most sense with the general vibe of what I'm doing with my feed, whether I'm doing florals, where I'm doing nature, where I'm doing like coffee shots or person shots type thing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, look, yeah, content creation is like really, you have to be intentional about it. People always ask me, but I just feel like you have to really think about it if you really want to do quality work, and you also don't want to stress yourself out too much. So that's what I try and do. Obviously, I work full-time. I do Instagram, I do YouTube, I also do lifestyle content stuff. So I have to plan my posts, I have to plan in advance. So what I try and do is do bulk shots, because then when it comes down to like what I don't like, what used to happen to me is that like I'll be reading a book and then I realize I don't have a photo of that book, and now I have to like scour my mind, try and find something. No, like my creativity comes in bursts, so I try and take bulk shots. I feel like if I were to give anybody advice about like Instagram consistently, but also like YouTube and stuff, you have to bulk shoot. If you're shooting things one by one, it's the most, that's what heightens your anxiety. That's what stresses you out, because literally who has the time to be taking 1 photo a day and then staging one? No, you need to stage multiple photos. I'll show you one day how I do it when I'm in the garden, but you'll see on the grass 10 different shots set up, and then I'll just like shoot them all one after the other. What I'm actually reading, like photo stack, actual books. Loving A Touch of Darkness and Hello Bye Bye Koko Come In is a poetry collection. So this is what's actually happening right now. I'm going back to reading now. Content creation done for the second. So let me actually read. I just got home and I just thought, let me give you guys a quick update on A Touch of Darkness. So the thing is, I'm on like page 150, right? I like it, but like I'm not blown away. Like, so this book is basically like a reimagining of the story of Hades and Persephone, and it's like basically like a steamy romance novel set with like Hades being the god of the underworld and Persephone the goddess of spring, and then basically she takes a contract with him. She gets tricked into a contract, and so basically she has to do this thing, otherwise she has to is stuck in like Hades in the underworld for like for the rest of her life, right? So that's classic story. If you know Greek mythology, you know that story. But this is like supposed to be like a steamy romance version. I'm finding the steam kind of, it's giving me very from Blood and Ash vibes, where like in the same way that like Poppy is just like, you see, is like overly obsessed with like
sex. I'm finding the same thing for Persephone, and it's really like coming from the angle of like, oh, like virginal, untouched type vibes. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, but like it's not blowing me away. I'll see what happens once I finish it, but this is the first book that I want to finish this weekend. So I'm seeing how many books I can finish. Hopefully I have like 4 that I really ideally would love to finish this week, but if I can manage to get more done, then that would be so much better for the weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this, and then tomorrow my plan is to start Chain of Iron. That is my huge plan for Friday, is to start Chain of Iron and see if I can get through it by the end of the weekend. So I just wanted to update you that I'm working my way through Touch of Darkness. I'll try and give you like a bit of an update tomorrow morning before my meeting, if I don't like manage to give you an update now before I go to bed. So yeah. Hi guys. Okay, so it's Friday. I managed to finish A Touch of Darkness last night. Look, I thought it was pretty good. I'd give it like a 3.5, 3.25, 3.5 if I'm being generous. It was literally just like your classic romance. Pretty steamy, kind of like, not, there was more plot than steam. So if you're looking for a book that's just pure smut, this is not it. But the sections that were like smutty were really smutty, but like it wasn't the bulk of the book. But this is literally just like your classic romance novel, just with Greek mythology characters slotted into it. So I like that added like a dimension, but it was just a normal romance novel. Like it gave me steamy vibes, it gave me love vibes. It was nothing spectacular, but it also wasn't bad. So if you're looking to read this book, I definitely feel like you can definitely get it on your Kindle, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's a nice book to pass a day or two. So it's not groundbreaking to me, or like it's not like life-changing, but I actually really enjoyed it. So I know, like, I say all the bad things first, and then I'm just like, oh, but I really enjoyed it. But no, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that I've read this. You guys know I love Greek mythology stuff, so it was a good way for me to see all my favorite like Greek mythology gods and stuff, because like the gods are interwoven into the story, but like it would be like gods are chilling at Starbucks type thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's very like a contemporary take on like Greek mythology, and it's set in a place called New Athens. So it's basically like a contemporary telling where the gods are like basically like super rich people all over the world, and like they have businesses and stuff like that, but people still like worship them as the gods. So basically that's the storyline. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Next up, this weekend is going to be dedicated after my I have a really long meeting this morning, but after my really long meeting, I am going to be reading Chain of Iron. I finally decided to bite the bullet. I haven't read it yet, and Pan McMillan sent it to me a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to get to Chain of Iron because I need to see what's happening. I need to go and see what's going to happen with James. I need to see what's happening with Cordelia. I need to see if Grace is still moving with the spirit of the devil. So yeah, this is what I'm going to read. So I'll give you guys more updates later, but I just wanted to let you know that this is what we're reading next. Day. So I'm about to take my makeup off. I just want to show you guys, this is what I use. Best product to remove your makeup. It melts it right off. So yeah, let me take a bath and then we'll chat about it. Doing a little masky mask. Gotta keep that skin right. So guys, I'm convinced this book is making me extra convinced that straight men are not gonna make it. No, guys, if the apocalypse happened tomorrow, I'm convinced that straight men are not going to make it. Like, they are not going to make it. Like, James, like, what a dafty. Like, can you get it together? I beg you, sir. Like, this situation with him and Grace is raising my blood pressure because literally, I don't understand. Like, I get it. She has a spell on him, but also, like, can you use your head? Like, Grace has such sinister energy, and he's just refusing to believe it. Like, no, I'm so sorry. James annoys me so much. Like, I'm team Carstairs here. I love Alistair and I love Cordelia. The rest of them are working on my last nerve. Like, putting all that to the side, Alistair, Thomas, Mac, like, there's a queer storyline that I'm sniffing. And the thing is, I just don't know who I want to end up with who. That's what I've moved on from James and Cordelia because James honestly and I'm annoyed. But like, I'm thinking, like, I love Alistair and I want Alistair, all he deserves is happiness because he's been through a lot. And I don't want to hear no Alistair slander will be tolerated here. But like, am I the only person who feels like Alistair and like either like Matthew or Thomas, like a bit of a vibe? Anyway, yeah, I ordered a bit of Chinese food, so I'm gonna go eat dinner now. I'm trying to read a bit more. I'm gonna try and get another, at least, I think I'm on page 110. Try to get to page 200, but tomorrow is another day, so we'll chat again tomorrow after I've gotten a little bit. So it's like 2 o'clock and I haven't vlogged at all this whole day, but whatever. I've been reading and I was watching Modern Family. So I just jumped to Fauzi's, which is like, if you know, you know, to grab some lunch. But I wanted to give you guys an update. So Chain of Iron. So I'm on page 250. It's a bit slow going. I haven't read as much as I thought I would have at this point. I like this series, but this book is really slow. Like, I was expecting it to be much quicker than what's happened. This is a book too, so I'm not really sure why it's so slow. There's so much drudgery. Like, there's very little action happening here. I don't know. I feel like the whole Grace's life story, I don't care about it. Like James and Grace, and like, I don't care. Like, I want action, I want demons, and I'm not getting any of that. So it's a little bit frustrating at this point, but at the same time, there's a couple of characters who I really want to have more. Like, I'm not really sure what my end result is going to be. To be fair, I'm only on like page 200. There's still 300 pages to go, so maybe she's gonna bring it all together. Like, I want more Matthew, I want more freaking Alistair, more Thomas. I want more everybody besides James and Grace and Lucy, because also the whole Lucy thing, I'm tired of it. Like, sis, don't fall in love with a ghost, please get it together. So like, I'm tired of that storyline, so I just want everybody else. Like, also, like, I'm here for the steam. I want like a lot more romance to be happening, and so like, I'm going to keep reading because I really am going to finish this book. I love this series, but I'm not sure how I feel about it at this point. So that's my update. Home now, I've eaten and everything. Update. I'm on like page 350. And to be honest with you, yeah, actually 375. It's dragging. Like, it's dragging hella. Like, the story is just going so slowly and nothing seems to be happening. And it just feels like they're rehashing a lot of stuff that was happening in Chain of Gold. Like, there's nothing really fresh and new and exciting. And like, even the character interactions. Like, I feel like this book should have been like a Court of Silver Flames, where like, if you're not going to give me plot, at least give me character interactions. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to see more of like James and Cordelia. I want to see more of like, of Thomas and Christopher and Alice. Yeah, I'm just a bit disappointed so far, but I'll finish and then see what happens. So that's my update for now. I just got to page 416 and literally the first thing of interest only just happened. Like, literally page 416 is the first time I've been interested in anything in this book. I'm so annoyed. Like, if you've read it, you know what's happening on page 416, 417, and I'm just like, oh yes! But like, it's so annoying. Do you know what? This happens to me all the time, where like, I've read 400 pages and I haven't cared about anything. So I don't know what Cassie's doing with this book. I don't know why this book is dragging so much. It's dragging so much and it's really frustrating me. So that's my update right now. Absolutely fuming. I even had to use this filter just to make myself less angry. I just finished Chain of Iron and I feel like I just spent 2 days reading a book for absolutely no reason. Cassandra Clare just made me read 500 pages for her to do absolutely nothing. I am so angry with the ending. I'm so angry with where they left it. I'm so annoyed with how this book ended. I can't even tell you. Definitely, this book is like a 3-star book. I'm actually really upset. Like, it was just so long and it dragged so much. And really, nothing is really different from Chain of Iron. Like, there's nothing really new. Basically, the exact same plot or the same plot points as Chain of Iron. And like, I'm not happy. So I'm going to bed now because I ain't happy. Good night. Hi, welcome to Sunday. I have makeup on, don't be alarmed, there's nothing exciting going on. I just wanted to shoot. I woke up actually early and I decided to shoot a YouTube video, so I thought let me actually put my makeup on so I could actually shoot. And then I had those bomb, rewarded myself with those bomb French toast. It was so good. Okay, so update. I think I said so last night. I was really delirious and upset last night when I finished Chain of Iron because I am so disappointed. Like, I don't understand why this book exists, because I feel like from Chain of Gold to Chain of Iron, nothing has drastically changed. Like, we got the exact same information, same character analysis, like nothing has been like dived into. Like, I found this book to be so lackluster. I felt like we needed way more from this book. So I'm really disappointed in Chain of Iron. I mean, I guess read it if you're interested, but like, I'm waiting for the next book because I feel like, yeah, hopefully book 3 will be like a huge improvement. So the other books that I'm planning to read today is Saga, which is a graphic novel. I want to finish Exhale, and I'm on the last couple of pages of Black Girl Finance. I would love to be able to finish these 3 books today so that I walk into Monday with a clean slate. So yeah, that's my update right now. Gonna spend the day reading these. Right now I want to go to Starbucks because I feel like a hibiscus iced tea. But yeah, this is what I'm planning to do today. Vibes, let's do this. I'll update you guys later on whether or not like progress has been made. I'm so obsessed with this filter that I found. It's so cute. Hope it holds. Okay, so first thing, Exhale. Really enjoying it. I think the thing that I'm liking so much about this short story collection, so it's a queer short story collection published by a South African. I think I've mentioned this book several times. No like queer trauma. It's like just sex and love and romance and self-discovery. So I'm really liking that because like I'm tired of reading books about like. Then the other one, Black Girl Finance. Look, I read the first couple of chapters more in depth and then I skimmed to the end. And I think this book is more of an entry level book. So I'm going to put it down because it's a book for someone who hasn't really done a lot of, like, it's your first step. I'm saying, like, so I think I'm going to stop with Black Girl Finance. Definitely, I think it's a great entry level book. And I think maybe try and get it on an ebook or something. But for me, it's just not really doing anything right now. And then Saga. I'm going to go take a bath now and read more of Saga. I'm absolutely loving it. It's like dystopian, 2 lovers, different ethnic groups, and now the global conglomerate or whatever, the powers that be are trying to like kill them because now they've had a baby and it's like a mixed race baby or whatever. So I'm really loving this graphic. I'm really into graphic novels now. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But we are on track. I think I'm going to finish Exhale and Saga tonight. Exhale, I think I have about like 100 pages left and I think I'll be able to finish that tonight. So yeah, that's my upgrade. By the way, hibiscus iced tea with a shot of strawberry syrup. That TikTok thing bangs, yo. It bangs. So yeah, definitely go get that.